Ever notice something strange about your memory? You can recall an embarrassing moment from years ago in perfect, excruciating detail, but you struggle to remember the compliments you heard just last week. Why do bad memories stick like glue while the good ones seem to slip away so quickly? It feels unfair, doesn't it? Well, it turns out it's not just you. Your brain is actually designed this way. This phenomenon is so common that psychologists have a name for it: negativity bias. It means our brains are naturally wired to pay more attention to, learn from, and use negative information far more than positive information. It's an unconscious tendency that affects what we notice, how we feel, and what we remember. To really understand why this happens, we need to take a look inside your brain. Deep inside your temporal lobes, there are two small almond-shaped structures called the amygdala. You have one on each side of your brain. Think of the amygdala as your brain's highly sensitive emotional alarm system. It's constantly scanning your environment, trying to figure out what's important, what's safe, and what's a potential threat. Its primary job is to keep you alive. Whenever something emotionally significant happens, whether it's good or bad, the amygdala becomes active. It helps process these emotions and essentially tags the experience, signaling to the rest of the brain that this particular moment deserves attention. But here's the crucial part: the amygdala reacts very differently to positive and negative experiences. It has a built-in sensitivity for the bad stuff. Let's imagine a positive experience. You're laughing with friends, you receive a heartfelt compliment, or you achieve a goal you've been working toward. When these good things happen, your amygdala registers the event. It notes the positive emotion, and that's pretty much it. The neural activity is relatively moderate. It's like a gentle chime signaling that something pleasant occurred. But when something negative happens, it's a completely different story. If you face criticism, make a mistake, or sense social rejection, your amygdala doesn't just chime. It sounds a 5-alarm fire. It reacts much more strongly and immediately. This isn't a flaw. It's a feature that has been fine-tuned over millions of years of evolution. The amygdala sees a negative event not just as an experience, but as a potential threat that needs to be dealt with right away. This high-alert response to negative events triggers a cascade of physiological changes. Your brain releases a cocktail of stress hormones, primarily adrenaline and cortisol. You've probably felt the effects of adrenaline before. It's that sudden jolt that increases your heart rate, sharpens your senses, and prepares your body for a fight or flight response. It's designed for immediate action. Cortisol, on the other hand, is the longer-acting stress hormone. It keeps your brain on high alert, ensuring you stay focused on the perceived threat. These stress hormones don't just affect your body. They have a profound impact on how your memories are formed and stored. They send a powerful, urgent signal to another critical brain region called the hippocampus. The hippocampus is like your brain's memory manager. It's responsible for taking short-term experiences and converting them into long-term memories, a process called memory consolidation. So, when stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are flooding your system, the hippocampus receives a very clear message. Pay attention. This moment is important for survival. Record everything. The negative event is essentially highlighted with a bright red marker. As a result, memories of negative events are stored with greater detail, richer emotional context, and are more easily recalled later on. The brain treats them like high-priority files that need to be readily accessible. Let's bring this into a real-life example. Imagine you're giving a presentation at work or school. For 20 straight minutes, everything is going perfectly. People are engaged, they're nodding along, your boss is smiling. You feel confident and in control. But then, for just 30 seconds, your mind goes blank. You forget a key point and stumble over your words before getting back on track. Later that day, as you reflect on the presentation, what do you think you'll focus on? For most people, it won't be the 20 minutes of success. It will be that 30-second slip-up replayed over and over again in their minds. The success feels distant, but the mistake feels vivid and immediate. That's the negativity bias in action. So why on earth would our brains work this way? It seems counterproductive in our modern lives. The answer, as it so often is with human psychology, lies in our evolutionary past. For our ancient ancestors roaming the savannah, remembering danger was absolutely critical for survival. Forgetting the location of a patch of sweet berries was an inconvenience. But forgetting the location of a river where a predator was known to hunt could be a fatal mistake. The brains that were better at noticing, reacting to, and remembering threats were the brains that survived. Those individuals lived long enough to pass on their genes. What that means for us is that we are the direct descendants of people whose brains were exceptionally good at detecting danger and learning from negative experiences. Our brain's default setting is to prioritize survival, and that means being hyper-aware of anything that could possibly go wrong. Today, most of us are not running from saber-toothed tigers. The predators we face are more likely to be a critical email, a social blunder, or the fear of public speaking. But our ancient survival systems are still active and running the same old software. That same neurological mechanism that once made us remember the rustle in the bush now makes us obsess over a minor criticism from a colleague or replay an awkward social interaction on a loop. Your brain is treating that social mistake with the same level of urgency as a physical threat. Now, this might all sound a bit discouraging, as if we're doomed to be ruled by our brain's prehistoric programming. But the good news is that we are not helpless. We can actively work to rebalance this inherent bias. One of the most effective ways is by intentionally and consciously focusing on positive experiences. This isn't about ignoring the negative. It's about giving the positive the attention it deserves. Practices like gratitude journaling, where you regularly write down things you're thankful for, have been scientifically shown to help strengthen positive memories and improve overall well-being. When you consciously take a few moments to savor a good experience, really notice the details. The feelings, the sensations, you are essentially training your brain. You are strengthening the neural pathways associated with that positive memory. It's like going to the gym for your brain. The more you exercise this muscle of positive focus, the stronger it gets. Over time, your brain actually becomes better at noticing and holding on to the good stuff. You're telling your amygdala and hippocampus, hey, this positive moment is important too. Let's save this one. So the next time you find your mind replaying a small mistake or dwelling on a minor setback, take a moment to remember this. Your brain is not broken. It's not trying to make you miserable. Your amygdala is simply doing its ancient, hardwired job of trying to protect you. It's an outdated system running in a modern world. By understanding how our brains work, we can learn to be more compassionate with ourselves and start to guide our attention more wisely, choosing to water the flowers instead of just the weeds. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning more about the amazing sides of the brain and the human body, make sure to subscribe to our channel.